to
I
make.
don't have a question, but I do have a comment with the example post. I think it's
Yeah,
good to give an example of a well-written post and explain why it's well-written, but also a poorly written post and why it's poorly done. Because in that way, when students know what they're doing, incorrectly, they'll know what to look for. For instance, maybe if it's a two-part question and it's an example of a student that only answered one part of the question, pointing out the second part of the question wasn't answered, that might be something a student would be more aware of, like, oh, let me make sure I answer both parts to the question. So I think it's good for them to see an example of what to do, but also an example of what not to do.
excellent. I'm glad you brought that up. And you could even have a discussion forum on why is this not a good post?
That's a good idea.
How would you improve this?
In my case, I actually got accused of being rude when I just posted that was an inappropriate post and this is why. And like, that was rude. You were supposed to tell it to me in private. I'm sorry, you posted it in public.
No, I understand that. And that's because the student felt like he or she was getting called out.
Yeah.
There are ways of doing that. What you could do is you could begin by saying, this isn't a critique on you. This is a learning opportunity for everyone here, since these are common issues. But I'd like to point out to everyone here are issues to avoid, and here are ways to make improvements. And I would approach it that way.
I think we can use previous students' work, for example, last year.
Well, what do you do? Is somebody posted something that was just so blatantly inappropriate. I felt a little bit, that just needed to stop right there.
No, I understand completely. And in this workshop, I'm going to show some possible comments, how to address these types of things. So maybe that'll help resolve it. And if it doesn't, please let me know.
Okay. But you see, this is my dilemma. On one hand, I understand that they're being coddled their whole life and you're supposed to dance around issues each way. But on the other hand, some things are just absolutely unacceptable. Because my concern is when you dance around things, you don't communicate quite strongly how badly it is inappropriate.
A lot of people, instead of listening to what you're saying, they're resisting the way you're saying it, and they're protecting their identities. So they're resisting you and not hearing anything of what you're saying.
Well, it's on them.
Well, it's on all of us because we're trying to get them through the class, right?
Well, I know. And I'm singing and dancing as much as anybody around it. It's just sometimes I feel like I'm just perpetuating some kind of scam.
I understand the frustration. I really do. Any other questions or comments or concerns? More tomatoes to throw? Okay.